A patient's last request at 5 a.m. It was during one of my overnight shifts as a nurse in the oncology ward. Around 5 a.m., the call bell from one of the rooms suddenly rang. I answered through the speaker. "How can I help you?" But there was no reply. Worried something might be wrong, I rushed down the hallway. From the window side bed, I saw a soft light glowing. It was from a patient who had been in our care the longest. I pulled back the curtain, slightly out of breath. "Is everything okay?" I asked. He looked up at me calmly, smiled, and held out an apple. "Can you peel this for me, nurse?" I froze for a second. I had just sprinted across the ward, only to be asked to peel an apple? His wife lay peacefully asleep beside him. "You could ask your wife to help you with this," I said, trying to mask my irritation. "Just, please do it," he replied. I didn't want to disturb the other patients, so I sighed, took the apple, and began peeling it. He quietly watched me, then said, "Can you cut it into small slices, please?" I frowned slightly and cut the apple in half with little care. He looked at it and softly added, "Could you make it look nice?" Frustrated and overwhelmed with tasks, I just chopped the apple quickly and handed it back. He didn't seem satisfied, but I walked out of the room without another word. A few days later, his condition worsened, and he passed away peacefully. 3 days after his funeral, his wife came to the hospital, looking pale and exhausted. She approached me and said, "I was actually awake that morning, when you peeled that apple." I looked at her, confused. She continued, "My husband gave me that apple and said, 'Happy anniversary.' I love apples, but his hands were too weak to peel one for me. He wanted it to be a surprise, something special. So I pretended to sleep, even though I knew he was calling for help. I just wanted to protect that small, tender moment." Tears welled up in my eyes. She smiled faintly. "I was so nervous you might refuse. But thank you for saying yes." I couldn't lift my head. I was ashamed of how indifferent I had been. How easily I dismissed something so important. To him, that tiny apple wasn't just fruit. It was his last gift. His last act of love. Sometimes, what feels small or inconvenient to us might be everything to someone else. In a world full of duties and noise, never forget to pause and look for the love hidden in silence.